Hi, welcome back to Mrs. Carolina's classroom, boys and girls. Today we're going to be doing an interactive read aloud and we're going to be reading The Cool Bean. And before we start reading, I just want to go over the strategies that we've been using that good readers use when we listen to a story. Okay, because we're going to do turn and talk. So remember that you need to go ahead and bring a friend so you can turn and talk with them, okay? So we're gonna go over first making inferences. So that's when an author of books, they don't tell us what is like in the story, or they don't tell us everything. They give us clues, and readers have to use story clues, have to use our background knowledge, what we already know about, to make an inference. So an inference is we come up with an idea. So clues, your knowledge, we come up with an idea. And these are thinking stems. So when we answer, I want you to use these. I can infer, this could mean, perhaps, maybe, I think, probably. Okay, and you can even use my idea is. Here we're going to be talking about key details, because also good readers use key details. Okay, those are things that are important in the story, like what is it mostly about, who's in the story, what happens in the story, beginning, middle, end, where does it take place? And we also have thinking stems for this. What is the story about? Who are the characters? What happens in the story? Where does the story take place? And always, we think about the theme. Okay, why did the author write this story? Is he or she trying to teach us something? What are they trying to tell us? Okay, so we're gonna begin with our interactive read aloud. And this is a new book called The Cool Bean that I'm gonna go ahead and read for you today. This book is by Dory John and Pete Oswald. The Cool Bean. And let's look at this picture. What do we notice right away? So I'm gonna just go ahead, I'm gonna share it with my friend Lotso, because I already noticed. I look at the title, cool. Let's see what cool means. Okay, it means like, okay, somebody that maybe thinks that they're like more than others, or they kind of like think, oh, people like me. So let's see. Lotso, what do you think just based on the picture? Yeah, they're wearing sunglasses. Yeah. Look at them, they kind of look cool. They kind of look like sassy. Okay, I agree with you. Okay, let's see. Watch out. Here come the cool beans. The cool beans. Watch out, look, people are pointing. They're pointing at these beans. So these are the cool beans. So I want you to think about, why do you think people are calling them the cool beans? Because we're gonna go back to that question. Why do we think? Okay, so we're gonna look at clues, because good readers do that. We look at clues from the story. Look at, everyone's looking at them. They're so cool. Oh yeah, check out how they move. Look at the way they swagger. Notice their sunglasses? Yo. The cool beans are known all over school, from house to house, across town, beyond county lines. So let's stop there. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn and talk. So they said here that the cool beans are known all over school. Okay, so you're gonna tell your partner some of the things that they described that made them cool. Some of the things they described that made them cool. So Lotso, what are some of the things that they described that made them cool? Okay, Lotso said that they had sunglasses, and he thinks that sunglasses make them cool. In the olden days, last year, we were on one big pot of beans. We were a mixed bag, but somehow it worked. Yep, those were the good old days. So all the beans were together. And then we stopped seeing each other as much. That's just how it is sometimes. you spend less time together, even though you're not totally sure why. So they started spending less time together, boys and girls. So maybe you can think, has that ever happened to you, boys and girls? Where, sometimes you just stop seeing people as much, maybe your friends. So let's look at the details. So how do you think he feels? How do you think he feels? Maybe we can make an inference because see, they're playing together and they're happy, but he's what? He's by himself. So maybe he feels lonely. Maybe he feels sad. Well, we're gonna read to find out. I watched as the beans I knew so well, the beans from my own pod, became the cool beans. Oh, they were so cool. So look, there he is and there are his friends. They were in the same pod, remember? They were all in the same little pod, but now he's by himself and they're together. One of them could play the guitar, cool. One of them could draw the best superheroes, cool. One of them could jump higher than any bean I'd ever known, cool. Let's stop there. So I'm gonna share with Lotso. So Lotso, what do you think? Do you think that he really likes his friends, or do you think that he's like mad at them? It seems like he really likes them, right? Because he's talking good about them. He's talking about the cool things that they can do. I think he still really likes them. I also think, how does he feel? Oh yeah, I think he misses them. Hopefully they'll get together. We'll see. Me? Well, I mostly stayed the same. Sure, I made some small changes. I wore sunglasses. Too big. I slicked my hair back. Too slick. I strutted around. I swaggered. So those are the things that he did. So you know what? He wanted to fit in, boys and girls. So what did he do? He wore glasses. Did that make him fit in? And then he slicked his hair back. And then he strutted around. Do you guys know what that means? That means that he's like walking around like this. You know how people walk around like they think they're cool? That's what he did. Why? Why did he do this? Let's make an inference. Let's tell our friend. You know what, Lotso? I think he did this because he's trying to be cool. Yeah, he's trying to be cool, but you know what else? I think he's trying to be cool so he can hang out with his friends again, the cool beans. Do you guys agree with me? Let's see. Did I look cool? I was still picked last for everything. My clothes never seemed to fit. I snorted when I laughed. I walked into stuff. I was an uncool bean for sure. Aww. I started thinking of myself as just a common bean with no special skills. I couldn't compete, so I didn't even try. I'd never be a cool bean. So boys and girls, he doesn't even want to try. He doesn't want to try because he thinks he can't be a cool bean. Have you ever felt like that? Think about it. I hope not. It seemed like there were two types of beans in the world. There were the cool beans and the beans like me. So he's in Laguna Beach. So maybe he's a legume. Look, he's at the beach. And look at them. They have their sunglasses on. They're drinking their drinks. They're laying down. They're feeling so cool. The days all blended together. I lived my life and things were just okay. I took tests and ate lunches and mostly kept to myself. The cool beans continued being cool. I mean, sure, I'd miss them a bit, but it's not like I was gonna say anything. I felt like all that coolness had gotten in the way of our friendship. So he thinks that them being cool got in the way of their friendship. And that's how it went until one day. Until one day. Do you think there's gonna be a change, boys and girls? Who agrees with me? Yeah, let's find out. Let's infer. I can infer that there's probably going to be a change. I think that something's going to change. Something's going to happen. Let's read to find out what. I was in the cafeteria. I dropped my lunch on my loafers. Oh, what are loafers? They're shoes. But then something sort of miraculous happened. Out of nowhere, one of the cool beans helped me clean it up. He didn't even say anything. He just gave me a nod. That was it. Just gave him a nod. Later, I was out on the playground. I tripped and scraped my knee and maybe cried a little bit. And everyone saw it. Another one of the cool beans came to my side, and without a word, he dusted me off. Oh, look at him here. He's helping him. Everyone else is just looking at, and he comes and he helps him. That seems like a nice bean, right? It doesn't seem like a cool bean to me. He seems like a nice bean. That afternoon, I was sitting in class. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't notice, but our teacher had called on me. Everyone stared. I sat there in silence. No one said anything. And then everyone just laughed at me. Oh, is that nice? They're pointing at him and laughing? That was it. After today, I was officially a has-been. So let's think about this. Let's infer and let's look at the details in the story. How do you think he feels? Look at the way he is in his desk. How do you think he's feeling about himself? How do you think he's feeling about the situation, what's going on with him? And think about, what could you do if you were there? What would you do to make him feel better? Think about that. But then one of the cool beans stood up and came over to me. Everybody watched. She leaned in close and whispered, "Hey, the teacher asked you to read from page 32. Then she gave me a quick wink and went back to her seat. Oh, that was nice what the cool bean did. She told him what the teacher had asked him to do and then gave him a quick wink. It was a small gesture, sure, but it was also everything. So I want us to go ahead and focus on this word gesture. Start with the G. Gesture. It was a small gesture, sure. So I don't know if you've heard that word before, but let's think about what she did. It was something small. He said sure, but it was also everything. It was also a big thing to him. So a gesture is maybe like something nice someone does. Something nice someone does. That's what I think. What do you think, Watson? Yeah, like a wink, or like a high five, or like a thumbs up, he said. Oh, Lotso, I agree with you. That's a small gesture. I walked home with a goofy smile on my face. I smiled all the way through dinner. That day made all the difference. It was a day that could have been really bad if not for the kindness of a few cool beans. It gave me a shred of confidence. Does confidence mean he feels good about himself? He's probably standing tall. Look at his arms. Look at his arms. Do you see his arms? He's standing tall. He's standing tall. He's feeling confident about himself. He's feeling good about himself. That shred of confidence has continued to grow. So because of the small gestures, the things that those cool beans did for him, he says that it's continued to grow. So he's been feeling better and better about himself. Somebody had my back. Or a few somebodies. So what does it mean when someone says, I have your back? Has anyone ever said that to you, boys and girls? I have your back. You know, that means that they like support you. If something happens, They're gonna have your back. They're gonna support you. They might help you, might be nice to you. They have your back. After that, I started hanging around with the cool beans again. How have you been? Get it? How have you been? Get it? Because they're beans. Not all the time, but sometimes. At lunch, after school, even on weekends. So remember we talked about how something was going to happen? That there was going to be a change? So think about it. Were you correct? What do you think the change was going to be? Or what do you think happened? So the change is, the change is that, you know, they're friends again and he's spending time with them. And you know what? The cool beans were really cool because they were actually helpful and they did things to make him feel better. Throughout all of this, I realized that it's not about how you look or any of that other silly stuff. It's about a wink. It's about a nod. It's about a smile at the right moment. It's about dusting someone off, helping them up again, pointing them in the right direction. So here, I really like this page, boys and girls, because this tells us the theme of the story, like the lesson that the author's trying to tell us. And it's on this page because here it says that through all of these, he realized, that means that he learned. He learned that it's not about how you look. So it's not about the cool sunglasses you wear. That's gonna make you cool and nice. It's not about the sunglasses, okay? It's about the other things. It's about the way you treat people, the way you treat beans in this story, right? It's the way you treat the beans. And the cool beans taught him that. You need a hand? So look at him. Now he's paying it forward, which means he sees that someone is on the floor. Look, what happened here? Let's look at the details. What do you think happened? I can infer that this bean fell and he dropped his books. And then I think that he is helping him. Yeah, I agree. Now that's cool. And look at the cool beans. They think that that's cool. They think that him helping the other little bean was cool. So that's the story, boys and girls. The cool bean. So look at him now. He's wearing glasses, right? He thinks he's cool now. Okay, so again, boys and girls, we did a lot of stop and turn. So hopefully you had your little friend with you, like I had Lasso today with me. My daughter let me borrow him. And you know, I shared a lot with Lasso about what I thought was going on in the story, the different details. Okay, so remember, boys and girls, okay, I want you to think about what the theme of the story, okay, what was the author trying to teach us in this book? Okay, did you learn? Or maybe you can actually relate, which means maybe that something happened to you, or maybe somebody wasn't nice to you, but someone else was. Okay, so remember what he said. So I'm gonna go over the page again. This is what the cool bean said. That throughout all of this, throughout everything that happened to him, he realized, that means that he learned. He realized that it's not about how you look. It's not about how you look or any of that other silly stuff, or it's not about what shoes you wear or what clothes you wear. It's not about that. It's about how you treat people. It's about smiling at somebody. It's about helping someone up when they fall. Okay, that's what it's about. Okay, boys and girls, so I hope that you enjoyed today's interactive read aloud, The Cool Bean. Okay, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.